Have it then. So I'm absolutely ram-packed in here with the lotus root bacteria house. I've also got the Medicoi probiotic growth as well now. He would eat it right out of a spoon. Rocking out with the old Santex. I just drilled 2 little holes out. So there she is. mountainTree is sponsors of my channel. That one on like so. Push the wire up through. I'm gonna crack on, get all of this in there. Fish in here are super happy, and we got a lovely little bench so I can sit on. While I'm sat down, I thought I'd show you a little bit of the view. Tension rails, that's what they're called, they're tension rails. I'm still debating whether to keep these spiral mats in here or not. Hello everyone, welcome back. James the Koi Whisperer. So today, coming up in this video, it's about time I've got this pond painted, because Mrs. Whisperer told me she was going to paint it, but she ain't done it yet and I need it to be done. So I've got a few hours here today. I'm going to get that done. Well, let's just crack on with the painting. Few things I want to show you before I start painting. So while we was at the show, we picked up a few new ornaments for the garden. Mrs. Whisperer picked up this one here. She picked up this one here as well. We got to get an Acer plant to go in that, or a tree, whatever they're called. And we got a lovely little bench so I can sit on and watch the koi. Rocking out with the old Santex. The plan today is to get this new pond painted all the way across, get it all painted black, and then I can get a few signs put on the pond. This never happens as fast as what you guys see it. Got a few of these magic fingers. So in 3, 2, 1, bosh, there we have it. But I think the fingers are a little bit broken, so I need to do this bit as well. 3, 2, 1, bosh, that's done as well. And yeah, I'm sat down on my new bench because I just realised I haven't got my microphones on. That being said, I know where they're to. They're in the car. Mrs. Whisperer's not home. While I'm sat down, I thought I'd show you a little bit of the view of how my koi's doing this season. They're doing absolutely fantastic, not gonna lie. I know I have got to top up my auto feeder just sat in behind the back there. I've also got the pond window cleaner out because I'm going to give the glass a little bit of a clean off. But the pond itself doing fantastic. All the fish really happy again after I just recently treated for, I had trichodina, but it's all settled down and they're all living the dream again. That being said, fish in here are looking fantastic as well, but for some reason they're not in the window. They were in the window, but they're not in the window now. So I'll take you back to these big girls. Thank your mother for the koi. Right then, so there she is, all painted, well happy with it. Looks the absolute hammer, as I say on the channel. I am going to get a tree to go in that pot, that one right there. But look at the state of my hands. Doing a bit of painting, I always make a mess. That's why I like Mrs. Whisperer doing it. Even painted down the side, not a bad job. It was quite hard getting around all of the pipe work, if you know what I mean. You can still see black does show up a hell of a lot, but I've got a little bit of an idea to get in behind the back of here. Got to go and get a smaller paintbrush. I need to get right in behind the back of the pipe just to finish that off. Time Scott rendered it for me. Really does make the pond look that little bit better. Covers up all of the block work. I give the glass a bit of a clean. I've still got to do a little bit of touching up here and there, but yeah, well happy with that. Looks the absolute hammer. But I got a few signs to put up. mountainTree is sponsors of my channel. They very kindly sent me out, it's their logo. And because they sponsor me with all of the media that's in that shower, drum filter, it's in that shower, it's in that shower, all of the lotus root bacteria house that I use, I'm going to stick this up in the garden and I think it will look the absolute hammer just perched up here underneath James the Koi Whisperer. So I'm going to get this put up now. Bosh, there we have it. I really do like that. There weren't no holes with it, so basically what I come up with, I just drilled 2 little holes out and I've got these little white caps and I just capped it off. And I think from back here that really does look cool. I was planning to put it actually on the shower filter itself, but I do like that there. I likes it a lot. Right then, you guys can't really see, but I've also put this one up and this has got a built-in light in it as well. Well happy with that. It's going to look the absolute hammer at night time. Right, so moving on to the old fish food. it's about time I filled up the old auto feeder again. So as you can see in front of me, I've been using this Medikoi probiotic all season, and I've also got the Medikoi probiotic growth as well now. So I'm going to do a bit of a mix at the moment, do a bit of a 50-50 mix, fill up this container and see how I get on. In another month's time, when the water temperature warm up, I'm going to go solely on the growth, give the fish a little bit more of a boost, and then when the water temperatures drop back off, I'll go back on the probiotic on its own. That being said, I absolutely love using the NT Labs. The main reason why I like using it, I just find it really does help keep your water quality that little bit better, not just for clarity, but just in general across the board, your ammonia levels and everything else. I just find that it works really well for me, and I've used it for years and I really like it. This guy here loves it the absolute most. He would eat it right out of a spoon. So yeah, one thing's quite interesting. These are both brand new tubs, but because they're weighted, obviously 5 kilos, 5 kilo, what I find is the probiotic on its own, I do apologise about my hand still as well because I've been painting all day, but you can really see the density difference in these growth pellets. I'm not sure exactly what they do different with them or what's in them. There's obviously a lot more protein in them, 49%, and that obviously affects the weight of the pellet. Not that it makes any difference to me because I know that I'm going to be doing a mix here today, but I really do like using this pellet. It's a real good, decent quality pellet. These probiotics are a little bit more lightweight, so the growth is a little bit more dense, and obviously there's loads of good stuff in there. Well, you watch this. You watch this. Come on, girl. She'll absolutely lap them in. Have a munch then. Tell me what you think. Are they any good? Do you like them? Yeah, I think she loves them. She absolutely loves them. Not that she needs any more growth, but I do like making sure they all get a nice healthy diet this time of year. Water temperatures warming up, being a bit more stable, especially because I'm unheated as well. Now the water temperature's a little bit more, I know that I can add a little bit more protein to the fish and they can handle digesting it a little bit easier. So I got me trusty scoop out. NT Labs, you actually get one of these if you buy a 10 kilo tub. Like I said about the paint earlier on, I apologise, but what you can do, I could just pour it straight in. If you do 5 shovelfuls of each, and then you know you got the same amount, 50-50 balance, if you know what I mean. I could weigh it as well, but I like doing it this way. Drive it in there, son. Drive it in there. Give it a good mix up. Beautiful. Get a bit more in there, look. I'm going to crack on, get all of this in there. I might get a bit more of this in there as well. I'll probably end up getting it all in here, because this JBL auto feeder holds 10 kilos of food, and there's 10 kilos of food right here, but I had a little bit left in there anyway. Right then, that's another 10 kilos of food gone in. This here will last me another 3 or 4 weeks now. Well, depending how much they start eating, but depending how much I start feeding, to be fair. But on average, I'm going for about 400 or 500 grams a day. So it's that time of year I like to make sure all the fish are well fed, ready for the winter. Get a good couple of months food into them. And that's what I've always ever done. And that's what I'm doing now. But I do like that. That looks the hammer, that does. Right, ladies and gents, so it's moved on to this stage of the video. A lot of you know I'm already sponsored by mountainTree. They very kindly sponsor this channel. But what they've done, they've sent me out a few more bits and pieces really. I've got the pendant, which this here is absolutely a cracking idea. I'll show you in a minute. I've got some in the bio, but for the people that haven't seen this video, I was short by 4. So I very kindly got sent out 4. And what this does, this pendant, it allows you to hang the lotus root bacteria house actually hanging instead of putting it into like a shower filter or something like that. What this lotus root bacteria house does, it actually gives your beneficial bacteria a home to live. And the way that, if you have a look inside of this, the way that this media is designed with the spiral effect running all the way down through it, the surface area on it is absolutely incredible. I've had no issues whatsoever with this brand new koi pond that I've recently set up. It's actually Mrs. Whisper's koi pond, but I've had no issues whatsoever, and I do believe it's partly down to how good this beneficial bacteria home is. It just grows and develops, and it's outstanding. No matter how much you feed your fish, it's just capable of holding so much beneficial bacteria. I absolutely love it. So I'm moving on to show you what I'm up to today with this stuff. These pendants, an absolute cracking idea. I did make a full video on it the other week, but I know I'm short by 4, and I'll show you in my bio tank in a minute. Any sort of filter that you have, you can use these, and what they do is that you've got 3 sections of the spinners, you've got 1 hanging hook, you've got a cable, and then you've got your bottom pivot for your lotus root to sit on. And it's really simple to do, but the idea behind this is why I like sharing it so much, is because it's pretty much endless. You could have any filtration what you've got whatsoever, and you could add this as an added extra bonus. And what I love about it, as you can see, the way that this is designed, you can literally pop the wire straight into it, you can push it in. Once that's pushed in, there's a mechanism in there which does not allow that wire to come out. That is solid. For me to take that wire out if I make a mistake or cleaning purposes or anything, you just push down the pivot, pull the wire out, and it comes out. And it's as straightforward and as easy as that. And what this allows you to do, you get your lotus root bacteria house, you thread the wire up through. That's the first one on, like so. And then what you do, you add on your spinners, but these are more really designed to keep it a little bit of a gap, a space between each lotus root media. I've got my glasses on and the hole's big enough, so I should have no issues whatsoever. So there's 2 on there like that. So I've actually got a 3-pack. Slide that on there like so. Then you can add another lotus root bacteria house. Thread that one on like so. And what you do, you put your hook on, and if you zoom in here a minute, all you do with the hook is exactly the same as the bottom. You just literally push the wire up through. That there's locked into place. You can customize this to any length that you wish. mountainTree also supply these in a lot bigger lengths. So I believe that on the packet, if you have a look there, where it's highlighted in the red dot, I've got a 3 stage, but they do go up to 7. So if you've got a really big, deep bio unit, you could literally hang these all the way to the bottom of your bio unit and just up the surface area in your bio unit. But the main reason why I like them so much, for cleaning purposes, when it comes to that time of year where you've got to give them a little bit of a rinse because they've got a little bit built up with too much bio, or if there's any too much muck on them and you've got to clean them, just literally pull them out, give them a bit of a spin, dip them in a bit of clean water, and then drop them back into your bio. So I'm going to get all these set up now. I'll be back with you in a minute when we put them in my bio over there on that drum filter. So this is my bio unit. This is how I've got it set out. A lot of people use plastic K1 media in here, but I wanted to try something different. This has been working absolutely outstanding. I've got one of the mountainTree air rings at the bottom, and then I've also got a layer of the lotus root media hanging, lotus root 2nd edition that is. Then I've got the spiral filter mat, then the spiral mat, then the lotus root, then the spiral mat. As you can see at the very back there, when I was doing this originally, I was short by a few. But yeah, before I get all of these put together, I wanted just to add as well, you don't have to just use these bacteria house with the pendants. You can use them in any form, however you wish. I've currently got these backy showers completely full up with them, and the water quality is amazing. And I've also got this backy shower fill up as well. And in here, the fish in here are super happy. I'm gonna get all these put together, and I'll show you what it looks like when they're in there. I'll make sure that I'm getting the most out of my filtration, and if I've got room to fit it in there, I'm just as well put a few in there. But what I've decided to do with this last section, because I've only got 4 of these left, there's a slight angle on the bottom of this drum which I can only have 1.5, and what I'm thinking about doing is adding these to start with. I'm gonna have a layer across, but instead of me cutting the wire off, I'm just going to leave the wire hanging, and then when I get some more of the Lotus Root 2nd edition, I'll be able to customise it to how I need it to go. But I'm absolutely well made up for this filter, the way that it's working. The drum filter's working amazing, and the way that the bio unit's working on it, hands down incredible. I'm still debating whether to keep these spiral mats in here or not, or just have it completely packed out with the Lotus Root bacteria house. I'm still debating whether if it's a good idea me leaving these in here or not. Some people said that they might end up clogging up with too much muck, but I'm not seeing an issue with it at the moment. The amount of air that I've got pumping through this system, no issues whatsoever. But absolutely outstanding, the results on these. So I'm going to get these put in place, and all I'll do, I don't know if you can see down there what I was on about with the way that you can see this grid down here. So these here are 2 high all the way back, 2 depth high, and the last one needed to be 1.5 just because of this little lip I've got on the filter. But it's as simple as whacking these in, and if anyone wants to copy this idea, the rails that I've put in here, these are just curtain rails from any sort of hardware store, and just literally just undo them, tension rails, that's what they're called, they're tension rails. And yeah, it's working a dream. I'm more than happy with it, so I'm going to get all these put in here, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. There we have it then. So I'm absolutely ram-packed in here with the Lotus Root bacteria house and the spiral filter mat. I'm still on the old bridge, if you know what I mean, if I'm going to keep the spiral mat in here or not. For now, I'm going to keep it in there. I've not found any issues with it at the moment, apart from that everything's working an absolute treat here. The only thing that I have found a little bit, I suppose, if I'm being dead honest, the way that the oxygen, having the spiral mat in here, does restrict the way that oxygen comes out slightly. Nothing major, you can still see it coming out here, but it's not quite as aggressive as what it is through the centres. That being said, it's still all bubbling up lovely. Get yourself on the mountainTree. Happy days. Right then, ladies and gents, so I think there's enough yibbity yabbity going on in this video. The pond's looking fantastic. I'm gonna go in, have a cup of tea, sit down, do a bit more editing, and get myself off to bed. So if I don't see you in a week, I'll see you for a window. Thank you mother for watching this video.